So I did something I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and that's buy a heat press machine. This video is not sponsored, and I purchased this heat press with my own money. After doing tons of research, I finally decided to purchase the Heat Press Nation TrueSpec 16 by 20 auto open hybrid heat press. This heat press falls into HPN's industrial category of heat presses, and at the time of the recording of this video, it retails for $1,399.95. I'm going to do a thorough review of this heat press in another video and explain why I went this route. As you can see, this bad boy is super heavy. Me and the FedEx guy had a bit of a struggle getting it to my front door. It's shipped in two separate boxes, but the second box is much smaller and lighter. So once I got it in the house, I had to figure out the best way to get this thing unboxed. I wanted to make sure I did it in a way that wouldn't cause me to injure myself or pull any muscles. At my age, you have to be mindful of those type of things. I decided to keep it on the floor and cut it out of the box. It came well packaged and protected with boards and styrofoam to help prevent any damage during shipping. Once I got it unboxed, I was very pleased with the look and design of the heat press. It has a clean, strong, yet sleek design. I love how it's totally blacked out. It looks like a piece of artwork, like a piece of furniture I could place in my living room. And the branding is pretty cool too. It's noticeable, but not in an overbearing way. It has an all steel frame, which makes this thing durable and heavy. It's going in my basement, but I left it on my kitchen floor for a few days because I had to figure out how I was going to situate it in my studio. After doing tons more research on a work table that would be strong enough to handle the weight of my heat press, I finally settled on a Husky 46-inch work table with adjustable height, wheels, and two drawers. Heat Press Nation offers one, but you can't adjust the height. This thing is a beast. I had to get my homeboy Keith to help me get it unloaded from the car and into the house. Unfortunately, I was so tired and exhausted, I forgot to record this unboxing and putting it together. But I would tell you that it was much simpler than I thought it would be, especially after watching a video on YouTube on how to assemble it. I'll put the link to the video below. After getting the heat press on my work table, I went through box 2 and made sure everything was in there and not damaged. And everything was good. It included my lower platen protector, which I'll have linked below, the control housing, and the lower platen. Now it's time to fully assemble everything. And I'd like to give a special shout out to my wife for helping me record this part of the video. The first thing I'm going to do is connect the control housing to the correct connectors. I love how the control housing is removable, because if something goes wrong with it, you can just ship it back to Heat Press Nation without having to ship the entire heat press. If that's why they did it, that was a brilliant idea on their part. There was no owner's manual included, and I couldn't find one on Heat Press Nation's website, which I thought was a bit strange. But I watched an assembly video they have on their YouTube channel. I'll link that below as well. Starting off, I connected all of the wiring, which was pretty straightforward. There's really no way you can mix things up because everything has its own distinct port. Probably the most challenging part is getting the control panel properly lined up in its position, which isn't difficult, but you have to line up the screw holes and make sure you have the magnetic sensor close enough to the sensor on the frame. Those sensors have to be close enough to communicate so the auto open feature will work properly. Once I got that situated, I tightened up all of the screws, connected the last wire and the main power cord. Next, I removed the safety bolt that keeps the upper platen from opening while it's being shipped and assembled. After that, I attached the lower platen, which was easy to do. I just pulled out the locking pin and slid it on. Now we're ready to go. I peeled off the plastic film from the touchscreen and played around with the slide out feature of the lower platen. That big red button is the emergency open. Those two black buttons are the fuse and the backup fuse. And the other red button is the power button. Now it was time to put on my non-stick lower platen protector. Protects this, keeps this clean. And then too, the other function of this is, be careful, it's hot. So.
I know.
I also love that you're able to thread garments on this heat press to make doing front and back prints easier and more efficient. This is the contact plate, which is the hybrid feature. By flipping this, you can change the auto open function from manual to automatic. So there it is, my brand new Heat Press Nation TrueSpec 16x20 auto open hybrid heat press. I'll be dropping my more in-depth review of this heat press, so stay tuned. Thank you for taking the time to visit my channel, and I hope you return for more content. Peace.